I have a team that's based out of Denton, Texas, and we have expansion teams in San Antonio and Austin as well.
Awesome. You sell real estate?
We do. Our team sells real estate. I'm actually not in production anymore, but I do actually sell real estate and help grow the teams, do all of the hiring, that type of thing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Is this your first Connect?
It's my second. I went to New York, and then this is my first San Francisco one. So yeah, and I went to Disconnect too. It was awesome.
Right on. What was Disconnect?
So Disconnect was the event that was in the woods. It was amazing. It was just kind of uncomfortable in a little bit different situation, but the conversation seemed to be a lot deeper, just more authentic. It was just a different experience, a totally different type of conference experience. So it was awesome.
Right on, right on. Is there any piece of technology that you've discovered here that you're like, I'm taking that home and implementing it straight away?
That's a good question. Probably not. But it's terrible. Probably, I'm gonna have to think about it for a second. I probably don't have a good answer for that one.
No worries.
Okay, good.
No worries.
Skip that question.
What about technology and the role that it's playing in the real estate transaction? Where do you think that's going?
Well, I think the more that we have technology and AI and things that can automate and really, truly improve the experience, not just for the customer, but also for the client, I think that's where we're headed. I mean, I think we can see it in everything that's coming out and the new technology that we're starting to see. Just a better, not just client experience, but because that's obviously our highest and biggest intent, but also a more smooth experience for the agent so that we can start getting back some quality of life and some things like that.
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
You're the first person I've asked that question to that's actually thought of what it's like to be us. Everybody focuses on the customer, right? Which is
of course,
customer's king.
Paramount.
But you're right. A lot of these automations help us.
Yeah, I love being in real estate, but it's one of those things that we don't work just to work. We work to be able to provide and have lives that are worth living. And so I think it is really important to, I'm always looking for what can make it easier for my agents to close more properties, what can make it easier for them to get to that soccer game, just things that improve their lives. So not only, and when we do that, it seems like when we improve one, the customer service improves and everything just gets a little better, builds upon each other.
What sort of technologies are you using in your business now?
Well, right now we're using Brevity. We use a lot of BombBomb. We do some of that. I'm sure like everybody else, there's so much room for improvement. I like to say we always use everything about 50%. I think over the last year, we're now using stuff at 75%. So there's improvement. We're still got a long way to go. But we like to use a lot of those things. I think for me, I'm really focused on building a system that can go from 400 to 1,000 before it breaks, and that's kind of my goal. I'm I should build something to take us to 1,000, and then everything can break. But at that point, I need something that'll take me there. So we're working on it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What would be some advice that you would give a new agent entering in the marketplace?
Oh, this is a good one. So I always like to say, you're going to come in and there's going to be so much information, and there will literally be 9,000 things you need to do. But the one thing that when I came in that I realized, I'm you know what? I have to have a client today. I have to find someone, I need a database. I need to set up drip plans. I need to do all these things. But if I don't have a client today, I'm not going to be able to eat. So, it was just always paramount. So just learning how to lead gen, learning how to get, because there's just so much that needs to be done in the beginning. And you'll definitely have an out of balance life. It's going to be working at night, working after the kids are asleep, just doing that type of thing. But in the beginning, that morning time, it needs to be 100% focused on how can I sell, go to a closing, pick up a buyer, or go on a listing appointment today, right this second, right now. And every day I would just wake up and think about that.
What are some of the ways that your agents are doing that now?
Well, our agents are really heavily involved in our community, so they do a lot of volunteer work. And one of the things that I think about when you think about volunteering or doing those things is being very purposeful about it. So we love giving back to our community and our schools and things of that nature. but there's nothing wrong with being strategic about it. So when we do that, we want to do, if you have to volunteer for something on the PTA, why not volunteer for registration? Because then you get to sit there for 2 or 3 hours and you register and you see all your people. You may not be talking about real estate, but they are seeing you, remembering you. And so I think that's one of the things that they do a lot of. They're very, very good about just staying present and at the forefront of people's minds.